really seen necessarily a lot of them come into the forefront in the BSC because so much has changed over the months now. So if you're just joining the stream, welcome back first and foremost, and get yourselves over to event.brawlstars.com straight away, where 76% of you are feeling like Humble have the edge. 24% still not too shoddy there for One Trick Ponies as we go into our first set for this series. Shooting Star is the map, Bounty is the mode.
I say the predictions are better than the last, and they came a 3-1. So, you know, even if you're part of the 26%, don't count yourselves out just yet. We're into Shooting Star. RT going to be the first pick. We'll get into the bans in just a second. But RT, I like it. You know, you're going to be able to defend when you need to defend when dropping your legs and getting that big damage down, or keeping your long range form, which is also very, very good. But personally, I like Nanny as a first pick that little bit better. Bans of Bonnie, Jean. This is a very fast draft. Sprout coming in as the second pick from One Trick Ponies. Last ban from Humble is going to be Meg. Then we got Grom, Max, and Tick on the other side. What do you make of this draft so far?
It's definitely bold, but I think that the bans kind of warrant that Sprout pick where it is. It's one that still has a lot of ability to be countered. If Humble are bold enough, and they have proved to be bold enough in the past to go with like Mortis ideas here, but that third and final pick to One Trick Ponies still going to be very much there to be able to counter those ideas. Gus playing it safe in the mid, very nice for me, and also that shield going over to anyone of their choosing can put a lot of pressure. Gas or whoever is playing that Nanny pick on the side of One Trick Ponies, and the card is a great thing to hand over a Gas shield too, isn't it really? The flying hook. So far I actually prefer the Humble comp big time, but this third pick from One Trick Ponies might be something to be able to blend this whole thing together.
Yeah, we'll see what they do choose to go for. I don't mind the One Trick Ponies comp whatsoever so far. Obviously, Humble with this aggressive Carl, flying hook in, you can pretty much clean up the Sprout instantly if he steps the tiniest amount out of position. So it's a great thing to have for them, but they're going to go with the Piper. And honestly, this is a comp when you think Shooting Star, this is a comp that you think of. And I kind of do like what One Trick Ponies have brought to the table, but if they step the slightest amount out of line, they're going to be punished hard.
I mean, for me, I never need an excuse to play Piper here, but I do feel like it could be troublesome, actually. Carl is going to be able to go in super aggressive on it. I just hope that those shots do land. Historically, One Trick Ponies have been good with the Pipers. Normally Lars on it, but it could be anyone, to be fair, today. But I think that the Humble Cup is just a safer pair of hands, you know? Able to push forwards, have its moments of aggression, play the game at closer quarters. Felipe's going to get those early abilities to jump away from the situation. For sure, Tom's full HP, but Cyclone did pick some early taps here. Let's see who's the early advantage going in.
Yeah, well, honestly, that blue star goes the way of the Carl. You kind of expect that to be the way that it is, but on the lanes so far, it seems like Gas and Filippo are dominating. Lars got his wall now as well, going to place it over the left-hand side. He's going to rotate over there as well, which is a smart decision, but Humble just backing up so far, and again, they're going to get to a point where they just can't back up anymore. Homemade recipe there, and Luki's surely going to go down. He does just there, but I don't mind it. Humble need to be in the aggressive position. They want to be going aggressive and not playing defensive.
Coming in. Coming back around, finds Luki, and he is low, but it's the support network there from Cyclone. Does seem to be for the most part, but nonetheless, Luki will go down. Oh, Cyclone. Oh, what a juke. He survives on, but Filippo will seal it. Very, very back and forth, but One Trick Ponies for me, so far, just seems to be tying up the loose ends more often than not.
There goes the super, though. Not going to hit that. It's set from break up some of Lars's walls. Not sure what Gas was trying to achieve there. Just breaking up Sprout's walls is not a good thing to do. And we've still got a flying hook left for Cyclone. He's got one left, and that's going to be surely reserved for those closing seconds. Filippo uses another homemade recipe there. No connections from it. It did go towards Tomsy instead of Luki, which was his prime target. Obviously, this wall's going to do a lot, but he's still got his flying hook. He can get across if he sees the opportunity.
Big tap there from Filippo onto Luki just to ensure that he stays back, but I like the aggression coming in here from Humble. Filippo's got the ability to jump away here, but it's the left-hand side where Cyclone is going in and does secure the takedown. Blue Stars, though, still with One Trick Ponies here. Huge gadget onto Cyclone. Will allow then Lars to push forwards, but he actually breaks his own wall. And the shield comes in. Lars is going down, and it was his own real fault there. The turnaround might be there, but the Blue Stars still with One Trick Ponies, and they get it.
See results.
Early flying hook from there from Cyclone. Gets the blue star, safe and sound, but he did take a lot of shots last game by doing so, and slightly less this time round. Keeps One Trick Ponies more to the back lines now. Trying to defend this. A big tap from Felipe on the left, and Tomsy keeps him low. This early start with both teams just looking to get that utility. Obviously, Felipe does need to have super to hand more so than not, as Lars does also, because Cyclone's the threat. And so, oh my word, what a flying hook to dodge the gadget there from Felipe. Oh my word. Now the people coming in much to the kill. Tomsy tanks it. They're not out of the woods yet. Another big tap from Felipe as well, and everyone's still struggling to humble.
Couldn't get the gadget off in time either, and I don't think it would have killed Filippo anyway. But Cyclone going up the map, trying to get something to happen. Doesn't want to go alone, though. Needs to wait for his teammates, and they need 3 stars to bring it back. Lars is the obvious option to be able to get him down here. As they get the flying hook and super onto him, he's going to be dead. But Filippo also has 3 stars over his as well, so they can pick the correct one, or they can just go for gas and try open something up. Lukey over-aggressing yet again, and you've got a question. Like, what are they going to do? They're so far behind, and they've got to push into all this range.
It's really bad timing on their part. This really should have been the strategy in the first game to learn from going into the second. Keep coming in, will get double value actually, and the return to center from Gas was timed perfectly. Lukey now is in a bit of a pot spot. He does have the shield to hand, but look at that. He's forced it out, and that would have been better served going over to Cyclone. Later on in the game, another return to center. Gas is on fire on this right-hand side lane.
It really is wonderful stuff, and Lukey not able to get so much done. It seems he's over-aggressing that a little bit too much. Cyclone's going to go in. Wall says no, and Lars might even get the kill here as well. Does 5 over his head, 15 seconds. Does Cyclone even have enough time to get up? Never mind getting the rest of the kills. Another one for Lars as well, 6 over his head now, and One Trick Ponies have destroyed them.
Yeah, that wasn't a set win. That was a set annihilation for One Trick Pony. He's subbing out for Xiaku. And I think it's a great time to do that, you know, give everyone their moment in the monthly finals. They had a great start. They can afford a little bit.
Absolutely not a great time to do that.
No?
Destroyed them. Why are they making a substitution?
I mean, it's early days for them in the monthly finals. I think it's a good time to kind of trial out who's working in terms of the rosters. If they fall back a set, they've got a bit of time to be able to recoup it. And they've shown in that first set that they've got a real ability to shut down Humble's ideas. And the question for me really is whether it comes down to the game mode, the draft, the circumstances, or the players. And I guess we'll find out.
Well, we've got Crow as the first pick for the side of One Trick Ponies. They're going to go with the Max, Shelly, and Stu bands. Gus, Ash, and Max bands on the other side from Humble. We'll see what they do choose to draft first. But so far, the Crow is very, very good. We've seen it perform it amazingly today. Obviously, it was in Brawl Ball, completely different map, completely different mode. Ruff's going to be a return pick from Humble, also an amazing pick.
Yeah, safe and secure so far. We are seeing a great amount of variety when it comes to the brawlers being banned, which I think reflects a lot of how the meta is shaping up to be so far. Much more of a balanced place, especially since we had a lot of the heavy hitters really knocked down a size. Shelly still needs to be knocked down a size, Supercell, if you're listening, but nonetheless, we're getting into a place where there's so much variety. B going to come in for the first time today, I think it's fair to say, and I do love that finally. I was literally just thinking it as it dropped off too much, but now, yeah. That's just great to see for me. A lot of mid-choice, though, still available. I think One Trick Pony is probably going to stay with the Crow, but maybe they could be rethinking things just a little bit. I'm not too sure, but they need some side lane aggression on the side of One Trick Ponies. Stu banned by their own hand here would have been my personal go-to. So Carl going to come in for them. It was Humble that really did kind of have some flair with that in the first set. This time round, they're going to prove to themselves, and Ems. I always think of Ems here, but simply because my mind goes back to consistently watching how SCMN handled things in the Season 2 of the Snapdragon Pro series, and it really did cut the mustard over Crystal Arcade, and now with the indestructible walls, she's even harder to shake.
Yeah, but, I mean, you still can break the sides, and Ruffs is great at doing just that. So I'm a little bit concerned for Ems. Carl, however, on the other side, very, very good pick. Sandy they're going to go with. I kind of like it. Obviously, you're going to be able to stun out Carl, but once those 3 stuns are gone, a lot of pain against both, you know, Carl the Crow, who can slow you down. It's not going to be looking too good, but if you can cycle those sandstorms, get control, get it again and again and again, then it's going to be a really, really good pick.
Sandy's one of those really niche ideas now that comes into play with like Hard Rock Mine and Crystal Arcade, but it does really prove worthy of results here. It's kind of been forgotten a little bit about. It's not quite the same as it was back in the day with the kind of Gene Max Sandy comps. but it does really cause a problem here. I thought it could be that, or potentially we see need to take a similar kind of role, but the unpredictability of which that Sandstorm provides means that you've really got to take it seriously and just play it safe. This double push on the left-hand side here, and Zeku will go down. Cyclone survives on, but just enough for Philippe to get the kill here. And now potentially could be turned to Lukey. 2 gems sit in the mid. They should be going into the hands of one-trick ponies now. Amplified shots won't connect from Lukey either, so bit of a saving grace as we're all tied up here.
Yeah, Cyclone with this power-up, though, going to be able to 3-shot Gas, I believe it is, if he connects all those shots. So definitely a little bit of something that Gas has to be cautious about. And the same with Lukey, obviously, be able to 2-tap Filippo if he gets the first and follows up with that charged shot. But did get a little bit of a heal in there. And Tomsy just keeping control of this because Jaku doesn't want to feed Super. He's going to get one of his own. The slow comes through. And even with that, Tomsy can't aggress.
Cyclone survives on there with 10 HP. That's everyone on the right-hand side there. Filippo and Zeku going in for Tomsy. Now thinking better of it and trying to evade these shots from Luke into mid. I don't know where that one was going, but I guess he wasn't too sure that someone might be lurking in the bush. Yeah, that's surviving just an 80 HP. As Zeku clears to the right-hand side now. A lot of pressure on Lukey to hold onto these gems in the mid.
Yeah, it's got to be Lukey really who's going to do anything here, you know. Needs to connect a couple of shots onto Filippo, shake one-trick ponies up a bit, otherwise this could be going quite bad. We need a break from Cyclone here as well. Needs to get rid of these walls and just follow with a few shots on Jaku. I don't know why he's not just throwing the super out and breaking the side. There it is now, eventually getting rid of him. He actually goes down. He was behind a wall and still Jaku found the angle.
Beautiful stuff, honestly, and I love the way that Felipe is utilizing the speed of the crow pick to really evade these shots from Lukey, who, like you rightly say, has got to start landing shots. Great slowing toxin there from Filippo as well. Keeps Lukey at bay. 10 gems go into the pocket. The one-trick ponies. The reset has got to be here, and Lukey and Cyclone have got to find this out.
And it might be there as well. They've got the slowdown, but here comes Gas. That's a wonderful super out spawn from him. The shots are coming through. Cyclone finds it. Lukey's going to provide the gems. Gas surely going to be able to get out of this position. Gets the spin. Perfect time. Picks up all the rest of the gems. And that is 16. All they need to do now is just defend once again.
A little shot there from Zek and say, good job, mate. You got us out of that hole. Lovely stuff. And it should be safe and sound, but I do not want to speak too soon, but Zeku, yeah, was in the perfect place for an ambush and doesn't hesitate to cause a problem.
Quite low, and then he could just push aggressive. And we saw, I believe, maybe one or two sandstorms, and one of them was in a completely useless spot towards the end there. Tomsy really not starting the best, and he's going to die here, surely, maybe. Oh, actually, he gets the stun off. Sweet Dreams sends him to sleep and picks up the kill, and that's what Humble need. They need these good starts, and with 2 of them down, just Filippo remaining, this is perfect.
It's much better. We have seen Humble struggle to maintain these kinds of positions of power. Lukey now, though, starting to hit. And 5 shots, they just never quite follow up for me. That's the problem. They're the ones that have to really pack the punch. But it is 3 gems now to the 3 of one-trick ponies, but the positioning power, of course, very much more so. Oh, great slow from Filippo. Great synergy between him and Gas. Goes in, gets the takedown, and now pressure back onto Lukey. Tomsy trying to alleviate something on this right-hand side here, but he's got a tall order there, as Zeku really just keeping him at bay.
It's going to be a tough reclaim for Cyclone, but there's the super. That's what they needed in the previous one. Tomsy uses it, and they get some good pushback here as well, but Gas going aggressive. Might be able to get the kill, but it's actually Cyclone who comes out on top of that matchup. Lukey got the power up now as well, being provided to him by Cyclone. I think Lassus down behind that wall as well, and 7 gems. This is where Humble need to be.
Yeah, Lukey is now so dangerous with that additional buff from the roughs. Gasto is still surviving on for the most part. Cyclone no, finally says no. And Filippo is in a terrible spot. He will go down, and that's surely going to be a countdown for Humble, and the first signs of light.
Need to be cautious though. That super comes down. Jaku's going to avoid it. Super available from Jaku, which is very good throughout this sandstorm. He'll be able to scout a lot of it, but Tomsy just keeping it at max range and keeping him back. Filippo needs a jump. He needs something, but they're not going to get it. 2 seconds and 1. Humble take the win, and this is the first game they've got on the...
What could do about that to secure their first game of the day? Yeah, it was. My word. Let's see now. We'll come out on top, because it's suddenly got a little bit closer together as Humble find their rhythm a bit more. Gas is going to be scrutinized here. Now going super really aggressive. Throws down the Honey Molasses, gets the takedown. Felipe now out of position, has got to rethink this.
He does have 4 gems though, so it's a better start for one-trick ponies in terms of actually gems rather than getting the kills. But they have still got one side as well, so it's not the worst thing. You see Cyclone moving over though, and Giacu's just eating all that, gets super off as well, and that's going to be the wall broken, surviving on just a little bit longer, dodging some of these Lukey shots, and I feel like he just hasn't been connecting enough of those, especially those 3Ks.
I want to see Gas going here on aggressive, but now with the Sweet Dream stun, he's now in a perilous position. Finally, the pickup is there, but it wasn't as clean as we saw previous to that. Great tied up there in terms of the gems. 4-4, 5 now in favor of Humble. But Lukey is still the problem for me. They haven't quite really been able to push their way forwards to really cause a problem for it. Great connection though, as the shots are starting to get a bit more warmed up, as we saw in the first game. A couple of missed ones, but now causing much more of a problem. Deck is still suppressing so much on his left-hand side, but his health is low. He's got to start to heal up, and he is doing so now, keeping his range just perfectly there. But now, Cyclone's found him.
Yeah, needed maybe to juke a little bit better there, and gets hit hard again. Does have super though. Gets taken down instantly. Super from Tomsy, really nice stuff from him. Available as well. Power up goes to Lukey, and now they've got 8 gems, Sandstorm down, and a big amount of control.
Yeah, a very aggressive Honey Molasses there. Going to cause a problem. Zeki might even pop super just to get rid of it here, but he'd like to try to get some double value for his time. He's struggling so much against Tomsy, and he's got the range advantage. There he is going to do it. I think it's the right play, but is it too little too late? Gas goes in, secures the left-hand side, places the pressure onto Lukey, and that was a perfect time to do so. Great touching from Lukey as they fight back. Gas has got to come in and get out of this position, but even if he does, the gems, the countdown, all with Humble.
Really nice comeback then from Humble. After that first game, difficult stuff for them, but they managed to claw it back. 5 seconds, and then nowhere to be seen. One-trick ponies can't move up, and that is difficult for them.
One-trick ponies going into this next set under the scoreline. It might feel the time to bring back in Lars, but we shall see. Flaring Phoenix up next for Knockout, being of course the game mode. A tough map, I would say, actually, when it comes to Knockout. That mid area, and also the ability to get flanks around the left or right hand sides can prove a big problem here. I want to see a Shelly ban every single map today, and I think today should prove no different. There it is on the hard side of Humble. Body and Daryl to add to that. Tick, Gene, and Grom on one-trick ponies. And again, another instance of having a great variety of bans. No duplicates here.
Yeah, nice stuff. RT is going to be the first pick from Humble. I like it. You know, we saw it in that first. It didn't work out for them. They're going to try it again on a bit of a different map. Flaring Phoenix. It is a much better pick in this one, I would say, because, you know, those closing seconds where you're being pushed in, you can just drop your legs and get so much damage down. And even not, you're able to play at the range as well. So I think it's a very smart pick coming out of Humble here. One-trick ponies are going to have to answer to it.
It's a great first pick. It's my go-to pick here, first time round. I like it. Someone is picking Carl for sure. Both sides really favoring that pick. And we have seen Carl rise through a little bit more now since the most recent balance changes. Kind of fell off a little bit now, but finding its place. Barley coming in and Gus. Barley's very much favored here as well, actually, a lot of the time. Could be time for Humble to consider that Carl now, because it'd be quite good against the Barley to eradicate some of that control or bring in some of their own as well. Maybe even a Sprout or something for that kind of advantage. Aggression, I think, is needed, though. You've got to have something to add to the mix. Long range in the mid is one thing, but sometimes having that ability to push forwards on a map like Flaring Phoenix does help out a lot. Brock is available. Sprout will come in for that reason. I love that from them. I'd like to see the follow-up, though, as well, to have something more range to add to that RT, but Sprout is going to do a pretty decent matchup now. Gray going to come in. Like that a lot from Humble.
Yeah, Gray doing his little happy dance after being selected there. Love to see it, and I kind of like the pick as well. He's a little TP in, little pull through some of these walls, put them in unfavorable situations. It's a great pick in my eyes if you pick those circumstances right, and if you set up a good TP as well. For the late game, RT is going to be able to exploit it massively straight onto the opposition. Even if you don't get the kills, your teammates should be able to in the long run. One-trick ponies obviously have this last pick, though. We'll see what they do select. 5 seconds left for them to grab something. And I think it's got to be kind of long range, right? It's going to be with a penny, bit of mid-range, but the mortar stuff's going to be able to help out massively. Salty Barrel to tank a lot, and obviously Salty Barrel's good in those closing seconds too.
Yeah, Penny received a little bit of a knockback nerf to her Salty Barrel, but it's still so viable, and she's got so much utility, so much knockback potential, control potential. There's a great deal to her kit, and it goes a long way. I think I do prefer the Humble comp here, to be honest. I mean, that mid is going to be won more often than not by the RT. Gus will have its moments for sure. course, the Cookie Popper gadget, always going to be a great thing to have on the side of one-trick ponies, to be able to just gain that low HP moment and then just press screen. No, it does the job. Let's see, though, who will get the early sign of aggression, who wants to go for the more controlled-based game. Lukey is a real threat on this grade, though, I've got to say. And I just hope that the one-trick ponies, they're ready for those teleportation moments.
Yeah, well, we know he can't TP any other members of his team now, which would be maybe still a little bit too broken if they hadn't reverted that change. Lukey just playing through this mid, wants to try to get some super, but Tomsy keeping him back so much, and Filippo doing more of the same over the that right-hand side. Choosing not to move up to this wall because obviously they can pull through it, and there you go. A little bit of wall break, not massive amounts, but Penny splash through. Really nice down there for, well, not for Lukey and Cyclone, but very good for Xiaoku.
Gas will be coming in relatively soon, and who that favors more often than not the Sprout, I would imagine, but Tomsy hasn't got super yet. Needs to be able to obtain it quickly, as now the Penny turret goes down. It's going to force the hand a little bit more as to where Humble can realistically go. Great wall there from Tomsy, right in the nick of time. Gas now, as well, the amplified connection from the RT. Going to be struggling here, but big shots from Felipe onto Lukey with the support. Siaku is 2 versus 2 now, and Tomsy all on his own. It's just surely go down here, yeah, and he will. One-trick ponies show the first sign of life here in the set. They've got to start because they were down in the previous set.
Yeah, I mean, we needed that grey shot to hit for any chance of a Humble win there. Lukey missed a valuable shot, and it did not pay off well for them. Wall going to come down, not blocking all of it off, but has broken up that grass, stopping them from navigating through undetected. But Tomsy just going to reclaim that wall with the gadget and have it for a later time. Gas now, just looking for some shots through. Can't really find too much, as he's just going to place a wall if he feels in danger. And that right-hand side has definitely opened up quite a lot more than it had previously, and that's not good for Filippo.
The turret available now for one-trick ponies, and Zeka's going to hold on to it. I actually don't mind that. Ultimately, they can just wait the clock down. They've already proven that these overtime stages kind of tends to favor them a bit more. Last call available to Filippo as well, and I think for me, Hubble have got to start to try to push forwards, be a bit more aggressive now. As finally the utility goes down. Good timing for it. Zeka, though, is incredibly low here. Healing tonic coming out for that reason from Filippo. Gets him quickly back into the mix, but I'm liking the way the Humble are approaching this. Walking King won't connect, though, from Lukey. That can prove costly. Tomsy low here as well. Lukey now starting to tremble. Oh my god, Lukey goes in! 1 tap, 2 tap, and Zeka's the 3rd! Oh my word, Humble! What great turnaround there!
I mean, it couldn't have come at a better time. Got the 2 kills, the gas finished off the 3rd, but just his presence scared him into the gas, and that's a wonderful play from Lukey. From going to possibly costing that first round with not getting that connecting hit, to winning the second pretty much alone is such a big turnaround. That's what we like to see from Lukey. Shouldn't be too far off another super, bear in mind as well, because he connected a few shots after TPing.
Gotta say, Knockout is certainly Gray's best game mode. We don't really tend to see Gray elsewhere. I mean, I'd like to see him sort of come a bit more into Brawl Ball again as he once was, but it's such a great mechanic to see there. I could use a little bit of buff in that respect, but Knockout, time and time again, able to help out. Sometimes a little bit in a hot zone, but Lukey playing a fantastic game nonetheless. As this wall now is really separating what Gas and Zeka could do on the top left-hand side. Tomsy doing great for that reason. Now the Gas coming in, and consecutive taps. 13 quite land, but it's allowing Zeka to actually heal, and that's deflated so much. What great jukes from Xiaoku on the left-hand side.
Lovely stuff. Tomsy being pushed back as well.
Wow.
Xiaoku, great play from him, and finds another as well. Lukey the only one remaining, but what can he do 1v3?
And that is a game then going their way. Great stuff from one-trick ponies, but we have some resolve from Humble before. They got a very convincing round previous to this one, so can they do the same again? As Lukey trying to find the connections, does find one to Xiaoku. Gasto keeping his distance. Walking Kane almost left Filippo in a tough spot there, but they won't do much more than trickle down the HP, as now his teammates coming to help.
Yeah, need to make something more happen. Cyclone's just taking so many hits and having to back off, but now Xiaoku's doing the same again. Tomsy all alone, not going to be able to get HP back from the grass either, because he's going to be recycling super instead. We can't find the last shot. Chooses not to go any further up, as he would have been a little bit out of position, but in my eyes, I don't think he was in too much danger.
Yeah, I think he could have maybe committed a bit more. Stuff cool to say for sure, but it's a great wall from Tomsy. It just eradicates so much. You can see the crossover far better now as well, so less place to hide. Covers a great amount of area as well. Very pulled over the turret, exposing it. But look at the positioning here. This is very much in One Trick Pony's favor here. Walking came from Lukey though. Down there goes Yaku. It's a 2 versus 1 though. Oh my word, Gas just about secures it, but only just. It was the shots from his teammates prior to that which really helped out considerably so, but ultimately, if you're the last person standing, you're the MVP of the round as far as I'm concerned.
It's such a close matchup. Shaku's marked there from Cyclone as well. Dangerous stuff from him, but did survive nonetheless. This is surely going to be a humble win. They need something out of it. Have the wall, have the legs from Cyclone as well. But he's getting tapped so hard. Has to retreat yet again. We're seeing a very centric approach from One Trick Ponies here, whereas a bit more spread out from Humble.
And you were saying, Trav, going into the last set, that maybe it wasn't a good thing to bring in Zyaku. I think this was a great time to have Zyaku for me right now. Didn't quite necessarily bring in the results in the previous set, but right now it's absolutely hard carrying One Trick Ponies as far as I'm concerned. Another big wall there from Tomsy. Now is the time to push for Humble and try to land some of these shots, get that early advantage. And Lukey's doing that onto Gas. He's got super as well to go in, but the Gas shield's going to be a little bit of a problem there for him. Much prefer the matchup with Filippo, which Tomsy has at the moment, and he's landing one shot, but no more than that. Now, the time is for Humble to defend, and it's not a great look.
Not all. Tomsy's there. TP comes in from Lukey. Great shots from Tomsy though. Can he find more? Well, he's there to finish him off.
The way, as I said previously, I think it's a great thing for a team to show they can just kind of cycle through players whilst they're going through the motions of winning sets, and it keeps everyone fresh, keeps everyone in the forefront. You know, we get to look back at their gameplay, and it gives them their chance to shine. I think that teams that kind of suppress a player when it comes to the roster, when it comes to like those 4-man rosters, it doesn't tend to do much more than kind of overall harm the grand scheme of things. So I like this from One Trick Ponies, taking the chance, and they already, you know, dropped that 7, they did it previously, but then they bounced back. So they've got that to their advantage, and they've also got Shelly to their advantage now, which wasn't banned for some unknown reason here. I think this is a great starting hand for One Trick Ponies. The B response here from Humble comes in, and that did give them some great results, let's be honest, in Gem Grab. Bans being Gene, RT, and Gus. On the other side of things, Stu, Crow, and Max for One Trick Ponies.
Yeah, and you know, I don't mind the Shelly pick. I don't think it's as good as it would be on pretty much a lot of other maps. Obviously, still does have that clay pigeon. Very, very good still very fast. But Shell Shock got nerfed so heavily, and that was a big thing here. That's how you get the connections with this clay pigeon, and I think maybe that will drag it down a little bit more, but the speed should be able to help avoid some shots. Meg, however, going to be quite hard to miss shots with Meg, but B, if you get the slows, they're going to be connecting shots.
I'm with you. I agree with you. You're absolutely factually correct, Trav, as always. But was it the right nerf for Shelly? I'm not convinced. I feel like the speed is where she really still thrives, and even in Backyard Bowl, which is such an open-spaced map, let's be honest, in the previous balancing of Shelly, she would never really be able to, you know, hold a candle to this kind of map. Mr. P coming in as well. I love it. Out there ideas from One Trick Ponies. I still think Shelly is going to cause a big problem here, but Humble have got the more traditional ideas, and that is going to be a good thing for them. The concern for me is the Mr. P versus B matchup now, which can deflate a lot of those amplified shots. Penny kind of coming for control. I don't necessarily mind it. I think they both are going with, like, well, very different ideas. Let's be honest. One Trick Ponies, a bit out there, a bit more aggressive, but I think Shelly always wins. I can't get that out of my head, that if you have Shelly, you're pretty much picking up the win. The Mr. P matchup with the B, I mean, Shelly versus Meg, I think this is kind of one and done, is it not? I mean, Bonnie versus Penny, I mean, the Salty Barrel will tank some shots for sure and have some knockback potential, so maybe that's a bit of a rough matchup there, but it comes down to how they play it at the end of the day. That is what counts the most, and I like both drafts, but in different ways.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not going to be played as that matchup, right? They're going to want it as Penny versus Mr. P. Get the splash through those porters. B versus Bonnie. And then maybe Tomsy should be all right. So I don't mind the Humble comp here, but Lukey's going to have to start hitting these 3Ks or it's going to go downhill fast.
Anything else to that question, Trav? There, swap lanes.
There it is.
just keep swapping lanes. But it is Humble right now, which are just holding themselves stubborn, and it's working out well. Filippo, though, holding on to super here, and I think, why is this so? HP was able to just trickle down the clock a bit more to ensure the reset, but so far good. Keeping One Trick Ponies on the back lines here is exactly what they need to keep doing.
Yeah, great shot so far from Lukey. And they're going to use that gadget. I'm not sure about that. Was pretty much going to be pinched down instantly by Cyclone and Lukey. Tomsy just looking for his super back, but Filippo's got this super, and with it, a bit of slow might come down, but Lars just throwing that ball a little bit further up, getting hit pretty hard, and Luki's doing such a good job just controlling this mid.
Lars has got to be more careful. Like he absolutely rightly said, you've got to be so careful in the Mr. P Penny matchup. I mean, Cyclone might even go all the way to score this now with the respawn of gas, probably not. But, you know, he could tank 3 shots off the back of that splash, and you can't really do that. Now I think it's the wise thing. Get him on the right-hand side, get him away from Cyclone. Like, if one trick opponent's going to win this with the comp they're running, they've got to be much more careful in these matchups. And you were the first to point it out, and rightly so. They've got to keep swapping lanes. They're the first defendable chance here. And actually, Humble might have a scoring chance. Gas jumps in. It's now a team wipe. The pass will be there. It is the goal for Humble. I think they deserved it.
Yeah, they're looking very, very good. And, you know, you might be able to escape Cyclone splashes through, but he couldn't escape Luki's shots. He hit so many in a row, and he's still doing it. Slow hits as well. Penny to roll, finish it off, and he follows up yet again on Filippo. That should be a quick 1-2 for Cyclone. A pass to one of the sides and a goal.
Yeah. It's just, but they're not going to push it. And I don't quite know why there. I mean, Cyclone was still healing, but it was a team wipe. I'm sure they could have mustered something up nonetheless. I don't think it's a bad idea here just to use the space that they've been able to generate and just continue to tap there. And Luki is doing just that. Gas, got to heal up here. Filippo needs to push forwards into a more aggressive position, but the time is against him now. Ball being pushed through. It's in a good spot, potential for a pass. Everyone's in a good sign of HP for One Trick Ponies. They haven't found the space. Gas is slowed here as well. There's just takedowns back and forth in the mid. There's no time here, surely, for the pass through. Even if it reaches Gas, no.
Many shots Luki was popping off on that baby pinching so well, dealing with his matchup, dealing with his teammates' matchups, and if he continues, I see a set number 5 coming our way.
Big taps from Gas, keep Luki very low, and look at that. Big Gadget taken care of. Cyclone actually comes out on top here. It's just enough time for Gas to come in and gets the takedown there as well. Much more back and forth than we saw previous to this, but One Trick Ponies making more opportunities for themselves. If they lose control here, which it looks like they're going to do, we might be going back to old ways here.
Yeah, well, Tomsy not able to get too much done, but does get his mech now, and with that, going to shred straight through all these porters, but with them spawning, it's not the best person they want on. They want them towards Cyclone, and that's why they're going for the swap now. Should swap back, to be fair, but not actually going to just yet. Filippo's got his super, might be able to slow down Tomsy and get him out of this mech to start with, but splash through yet again from Cyclone's going to hit Gas this time.
Gas is struggling so much against Luki, but as he rightly should. I mean, you're playing against a brawler which can really pack a punch, and you've got sluggish movement speed. You've got one more gadget left to hand, but as soon as he's gone through that, he's just going to be a sitting duck. Huge there from Luki, keeps Filippo at bay, and now he's really cycling through, but low HP, surviving still despite the porter hit. I mean, Luki's doing great. He really, really is, but there's a potential opportunity here. Gas jumps in, the pass is there, but Luki, oh, he missed it off the line. He really should have been able to stop that. Despite the low HP, it would have been enough to stop the ball in its tracks. Instead, it was an opening, and One Trick Pony seized it.
Well, Tomsy now has his super as well. Got the swipe, but doesn't want to be too close to Filippo. And he is actually using Band-Aid, not Shell Shock, which is probably the smart thing to do now that it has been nerfed quite heavily. I can just try and walk up this map. Luke's not going to connect that 3K just yet, but Gas shouldn't be too much of a bad target. He is quite slow. Tomsy pushing well, has the swipe still, and obviously with Band-Aid it's not going to be the best matchup, but super behind the wall. Filippo's just playing it slow. They know they don't need anything else. 30 seconds, and they'll be fine.
Big hit there from Filippo with the gadget there as well for good measure, but Gas is going to be able to secure this defense. The walls are going down surely. Ball push potentially Cyclone, who can't really do much from that position with a Shady respawning in, and yeah, Filippo's running Band-Aid, by the way, as well. He's not even got the slow to hand, so clearly feels like that nerf was something of a change to the particular brawler. Luki's out of position here, can't do much at all. And One Trick Ponies now moving on to match point, and he came out very, very aggressive early on, and that made a difference.
Yeah, it really is that. And, you know, if Luki's not performing the same way that he was in the first game, then it's going to be an issue. And the same with Cyclone. They don't have the matchups they want off the start. You want that penny against the Mr. P, because that's what succeeded in the first. And now, instant push from Filippo. He says goodbye quickly to that, and now he's pushing forward again, using this clay pigeon to the best of his ability. There's a goal there. The super, the shot, and it's in. One Trick Ponies go ahead yet again off the start.
It's exactly the way to play if you're them, because they've got a very defensive idea. They can buy down the clock and just trying to evade a lot of what Luke is throwing out, really. Gas comes in. Oh, my word. Everyone just dropped on the side of Humble. It could be over right here if Gas goes through. Thompson's got mech. He pushes it back. The Filippo's got the super to hand. Shorty waiting for the invincibility to run itself down. Gets the shot. Knocks them back. It is done. One trick ponies just left Humble in the dust.
He didn't even wait for an open. He was just like, right, if you're not going to give me an open, I'm going to walk straight through you with this super. Knocked them back, got them off the line, and the ball went in. Great stuff from One Trick Ponies. Considering how bad they looked in the first game of Brawl Ball, to come back, change your strategy, and win 2 in a row as easy as that.